So here we are in our comic book game. I think this is episode 3. So, Ares being the name that you have. Do you know where you got the name? Or did you just choose it after everything happened?
I chose it after everything happened.
So it could possibly be your code name too, as far as that is. I am Ares and that is it. That's enough. I'm Dragon Boy! No. He's not here. Okay. Okay. God damn it. I say those too often. That one doesn't bug me as much anymore because it doesn't show up as much. Continuing on. You're at the bus stop out in front of the church after you talked to Trinity. Came to kind of an agreement that you agree with him, but he needed to find more information. And then he would contact you where you live. Mm-hmm. Oh, see, that's also another reason why you had this weakness rolled. So that's why I put that down.
Okay.
The dark secret, your circus background. Who you used to be is not going to be probably publicly shared knowledge. Just thinking. I wonder how your rest of your ideas. Nah, they probably got you something, so you can work at the zoo. Yeah. But the zoo? I keep trying to put you in the goddamn zoo, don't I?
Yeah.
That's circus. So you're out there at the intersection, Just stand in the middle of the intersection. And you're at the bus stop waiting for the bus, and nearby the bus stop, some lady pulls up, gets out of her car, kind of leaves the radio playing. It's playing local music. And kind of stands out by the road, a little bit past the bus stop, mm-hmm. kind of looking around like she's looking for someone. Mm-hmm. After a while, a guy in a rather expensive looking his vehicle, can't remember, a nice looking vehicle, we'll just say that.
Okay.
Type we don't know yet, but because we know whose it is, we know it's a nice vehicle. It might be a Hummer. I'm not sure what he was going to do. Mm-hmm. Because he has a formal life he has to deal with too. Plus, something I got to check with him on, which just to remind me, he has vehicle skill, but it's got to be spread out for how many vehicles he has. He doesn't get each one at that level.
Yeah.
Oh, just like you don't get as many dragons as you want. Why not?
I only wanted one.
Okay. And then you get pregnant. And then you had the same problem every pet owner had. Too many where you sitting out in front of a grocery store handing away dragons.
Yeah, no, fuck that. I'll make an army if that's the case.
Okay. After a while, the guy comes across and they start talking. Make an intuition check on your percentage dice. And let me grab out the chart. I might need to compare it to something. What's your intuition?
What's the other one?
Intuition, second. Last, mighty.
Mighty.
That's a new one. That's why it doesn't look familiar. Okay, you need to roll 41.
I got
90?
92.
Okay, so you're going to do green first?
Yeah.
Okay. No problem. You're hearing their conversation. She seems to be talking rather loud. She apparently saw some kind of man-like creature wandering in the swamps over there behind the lab across the street. You know this lab because, well, this is where your egg came from. Actually, it was described to you as a larva, but it looked like an egg to you, so and it hatched, so. They may not have fully known what they had.
Yeah.
So, you sit there and she's talking about something out behind there. Maybe something escaped from the labs. They start asking questions, talking back and forth.
Yeah.
Until finally, some lady comes out of this building across the street, back to the labs, over to her car, past her car, and starts arguing in the argument that basically this lady's crazy, don't listen to her, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
We just fired her. So I don't know why you're talking to her.
Yeah.
They talked for a while, kind of arguing about what they saw, what wasn't seen. He seems to be collecting the information, almost like a journalist. And then next thing you know, the radio in the car next to her, or you know where they're sitting,
Yeah.
comes off of the newscast, which is good because it looked like those two girls were going to actually start fighting soon. But across the news broadcast, clicking the pen down, is a story that at the circus, although the circus is currently, you know, not performing as a circus, they just have exhibitions up and stuff like that, but the ringmaster's not around. It's not an actual show. It's an exhibition show. We've been informed, and they say they have found the world's largest crab. And they have it at the zoo. Or at the zoo. No. See? They have it at the circus. I'll edit that out. Or if it's funny, I'll leave it. You don't remember seeing him. Now you know there's Crabman, who's got a kind of a you know, like the condition that your bones or muscles start turning to bone. He has a similar thing, but the bone builds up on the surface of the skin. And he's covered with this stuff. He doesn't have pincers or anything like that, but he goes by the name Crabman. Yeah, he's got normal hands.
Okay.
You know he's pretty strong.
Yeah.
He's the muscle for Noose. The guy you don't like. But maybe they're talking about that or something. You don't know.
Yeah.
So, well, at that point, finally, the lady who came in the car goes back to her car and leaves. A guy kind of yells over and hands something over to the girl, and then runs back to the labs.
Yeah.
And then the lady out front, who's actually kind of a strong lady. Well, no, actually she wouldn't be. She must be tall, because you're bigger than Linda. Your strength is mighty, which could be a side effect. You were paralyzed before, so it's probably a side effect of the surgery. Talking to Violet on the other side of the room. So, back over here with Aries. You're sitting there watching this, but then also, as everyone's starting to disperse different ways, and it looks like the girl and the one guy are going out to the swamp.
Yeah.
Heading out behind there. So maybe they're going to look for whatever she said she saw. All the lady said there was nothing to see.
Yeah.
You notice at that point, or make another intuition check.
65.
65. That still makes it because you only need a 40. 41. You should have pretty good sight or intuition. So, oh, you have typical on the other two. That's your high. That's one of your stronger stats. That and your agility, actually, quite agile and fast. You have +8 or no +16 on your die 20 roll. You get to go for every 15 points you rolled. You get to go another turn. So you automatically, if you roll anything over 9, I think, you automatically have 2 actions that turn. That's how fast you are. Side effect of the surgery. Everyone's getting surgery. It's fun. Everyone's afraid that they got big noses, no powers, things like that. Okay. Again, with that word, or letter. And then I draw a blank on what the hell to open up with. You can't use that one. And so there's a guy on the intersection in a car, he's got the light and he's just parked there looking at the bus stop. Or more precisely, the church. And then the bus stop. And then the church. He watches, and he's probably there for maybe 5 minutes. Light changes a couple times. You want to do anything? We just ignore him.
Probably ignore him for now.
Okay. Well, finally, he drives off. Roll the dice.
30. No, it says 30.
It's okay. So, that's it. He drives off after a while. You're not sure why. That's what the second roll is for. He takes off. So you're sitting there and the bus shows up. And you probably take the bus and go on back to home. Now, at home, what do you do?
Go find out about what I can find out about this crab man.
Oh, well, no. Well, first of all, Crabman, you can go talk to him.
Oh, yeah.
First thing, I guess, well, we're going to assume everyone knows that you went in for surgery to fix your brain, and it worked.
Yeah.
Crabman looks, he says, whoa, I understand what you're saying now. He doesn't seem that bright, though.
Yeah.
So, he says, no, not me, my pet. And he says, come with me, I'll show you. We haven't shown everyone else yet, but you work here.
Yeah.
And he's kind of proud of it. So with this, maybe I'll get to be the big man around here.
Yeah.
He goes in, and there's a crab the size of a horse in the tent.
But goddamn, I could eat that thing for weeks.
And on the back of it, he says its name is Ray. Because see, it's already written on its back. And there's a R-A-Y. It looks like a couple letters have worn off.
Yeah.
Now, roll percentage dice.
45.
Okay. I think that makes it because you only need 41. Guess what?
What?
Those 2 letters are probably O and N. It's from the same company that did the experiment on you and gave you your pet.
Yeah.
So, there you are. Giant fucking crab. He's going to put it on display and become the big man around here. You know, these things can live for like 100 years.
Yeah.
I was told. Fortune teller told me he's pretty young.
Yeah.
So, what do you think?
I'm going to try not to eat him.
Better not, or I'll eat you.
Sure about that?
Think so?
That would make you a cannibal, though.
Yeah, well, that's only if they can be assured that I'm actually human.
Sure.
Stronger than any other person around here.
You're a strong man?
Yeah, including him.
Oh.
I'm the toughest man here. With my crab, I'm going to be big man.
Okay.
Although, you know, it sounds like he's talking about overthrowing Noose.
Yeah.
So, do you say anything to him at all, or you just head back to your what are they, wagons?
Yeah, I'm going to head back to the wagon.
Okay.
I'm gonna go talk to my dragon.
Have it.
You know, talk to your dragon?
Yeah.
Okay. You can.
Oh, I actually can?
Not mental, not physically.
Oh.
You have a telepathic link through the chip
Oh, yeah.
to your dragon.
Oh.
It's actually, you know, complete bond.
Oh, I'm gonna grab a Coke out of the fridge and have him cool it down for me.
Okay. No problem. He's got typical ice power, so that's within his rank pretty easily. Make it nice and cold. Okay. Where are you? There he is. Okay. After a while, as you'd call mom and dad,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, not like they actually take care of it. But you know, strong man and fat lady.
Yeah.
They come in. Like, so you saw him?
Yep.
We've seen him before.
Really?
Yeah, at the labs.
Interesting.
Yeah, he was part of the experiment that we were both in. Some enzyme in him that they were drawing out of him and injecting us with, seeing if it would do.
Yeah.
It didn't do quite what they expected, but you know, we signed a waiver, so you know the whole story.
Yeah.
Part of the growth experiment. Maybe that's why he's so big.
Probably.
Well, he's big when we saw him, but we don't know what size he started at.
Yeah.
So, one problem is it seems to be making Crabman a little bossy.
Yeah.
Yeah, even the clowns are a little annoyed by him.
Maybe they should pull some pranks on him, make him calm down.
Well, you know, we gotta let Noose know. He's not around right now, but he'll be back this evening.
Yeah, I'd let him know too.
Well, I don't know if you should let him know. You know, he kind of used to bully you all the time, so.
I mean, you should let him know.
Yeah. You know, you're a strong man over here. Which I should give you. No, they didn't have. I remember reading it. They don't have other names. That's all I go by. Probably because they're all criminals and they're hiding their identities.
Yep.
Isn't that what everyone in the circus is?
Yep.
I said circus.
Yes, you did.
I'm getting better at this. Okay.
He said circus, but he really meant zoo.
And I meant poo.
Pooh Zoo. Okay. Actually then, here we are with this time Chase Steele. Now, a couple things I had to look at. One, you don't have. Okay. You don't have special vehicles because you didn't roll vehicle skill. You just have regular vehicles, which is fine then. Sports car, big truck, motorcycle, and was it a boat or a helicopter?
Boat.
No, boat.
Yeah.
And then, the next situation, because you have to reuse that to get into the area. Well, I guess you probably have a pretty good size boat, so you probably live on your boat. Hey, that's good size. You have a big boat. That could be your headquarters.
Yeah, could be.
Except for then why do you have the other cars? So you drive your car around around your island. Your motorcycle, ride your motorcycle around. And so I can check the mail. I don't want to walk a mile down to my mailbox. Okay, it's a big place. It's got a big family. Well, your family doesn't actually live it. That's your home.
That's my own personal home.
Yeah. Your family may have one of the bigger ones.
Maybe. Got my own little island.
Okay. There's that dreaded word again. What do you need to do? Remember I told you to like come up with a few things? What were your things you want to do, or you haven't come up with them yet? I need 3 things that your character, in the current situation with what you know, wants to investigate.
I wanted to see first is on the oversized crab.
Big crab.
Yeah, the big crab.
Have someone
See where it actually came from.
like type where it's from. Of course, Crabman says he found it in the swamp.
I just want to know where at.
Now,
Where.
if that's the case, maybe that's what she saw behind the place.
Good possibility.
Oh, it's not human shaped, but you know, maybe she only saw part of it. Okay, that's number 1. 2?
Want to find out how it got so bloody big.
Okay. It's not normal for that. Is it normal?
And how did the crab guy was able to get it back over to the circus?
Okay. Good questions. I think we can deal with all those. What are you going to use to investigate these? Look at your skills. If you want, you ask questions. I will fill you in on information about them. When we go through your skills, we can. We're online. We're on the game. Genius. That's an all rank. If you nothing else, you can try that. You might get lucky. You have luck. Rifle specialist ain't going to help you here. Linguist. If you're asking questions of people which there's probably people in the circus that don't speak English. That would be speaking to some of the people that are less spoken, the workers and stuff. Occult, I guess you could divine. Go talk. There's a fortune teller there. Although you also have friends who are Ronaldo brothers. You have connections, which is probably your best chance.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
So roll on that. And these are your dad's connections, remember?
Okay.
Which you also have. Because you're an adult.
60.
60. Looking at first question. Okay, well, what'd you roll? What's your connections? Good? And what'd you roll?
60.
60 does it. Green. Just barely. But it succeeds. You find out so far, and that's on the first one. I guess roll again and again.
$71.
Okay, that's good. And again.
50.
50, no. Okay. On the last one, you're going to be left with Crabman's pretty big. The guy is. He could have lifted and carried it in here. He's got like 2 inches of like some kind of skin condition. Looks like armor on his outside of his body.
He's kind of like the.
You don't know how strong he is, but he's at least probably like he could be as strong as a strong man. Who knows?
Yeah, could be.
But that's the best you have. I mean, he'd probably think he could have just forced it in here. Oh, it seems very friendly when you visit. He does what he says and stuff. It's listening to him. But it could be that they look alike. Okay, the type. Unknown. No one can identify it. It is not any known native crab species on the planet. And there aren't any on the moon.
Yeah.
So, the planet was probably unnecessary in information. But no one knows where it came from, what it is. So its size, maybe it's always that big, but if so, we would have seen it before because it's on the shore.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem to breathe water. Because anybody studying it had never seen it. I mean, it'll go to water sometimes, but not enough to be like breathing. It's a land crab. Now, the largest land crabs on Earth are pretty damn big.
But not that big.
No, not even close. They're like, yeah.
They're
Well, they're centerpiece. They are actually huge. They have ones that are about the size of a big dog.
Yeah.
They do have. But this is not that species at all. It doesn't seem to have the same.
Not the same. Question is it a mix between...
Biggest difference about it is it does not have the antenna, which are usually how they tell things, but if it's because of underwater. It's mostly sight, so it's like it's a race that's been on land for a long time. And why no one would have seen it. He says he got it from the swamp. And actually there's a sighting you can find of someone seeing him dragging that thing in, basically. He wrestled it down and dragged it in. Although it didn't seem to be fighting that much. he had food for it.
It was hungry.
So, it wasn't really a fight, as far as you can tell.
He just followed him in, basically.
Yeah, and he brought it into here, and now he's just showing it off, and, you know. We couldn't find the people in charge of the circus, because even the guy who's in charge of it during the winter season wasn't around. Some rope trick guy does shows. But usually only during the season, not during the off-season like that. The only people working this time of year, it's like the dog-faced boy and the fat lady, and fortune teller's always doing stuff. Still guy occasionally, but not really. They don't do shows during this time of year, but they'll show off stuff. Make a little extra money if they can without working too much.
Automatic, when I hit automatic, it's like problematic, when I hit automatic, it's like
Wounded at Saratoga.
Hello, and if you've enjoyed some of our work that you've seen here, please do me a favor and click there over on Patreon corner, and you can see you can become a patron, and for like $1 a month you can give me input on anything that you think would be good to continue on. So we do so much different things, and it's hard to see what people want to see next, so become a contributor as well as have an opinion on what we do next. Thank you.
Burgoyne advanced slowly, his forces suffering successive defeats at Bennington, in the Mohawk Valley, and twice at Freeman's Farm. Indecisive action accomplished his defeat. He turned back on Saratoga, but by now the Americans had him surrounded. On October 17, 1777, he surrendered his entire army. Success in this campaign was due more to the subordinates, Stark, Lincoln, Morgan, and Kosciuszko, than to the commanding Gates. The American victory was the turning point of the Revolution. It is counted among the decisive battles of the world.
Hello, and if you've enjoyed some of our work that you've seen here, please do me a favor and click there over on Patreon corner, and you can see you can become a patron, and for like $1 a month you can give me input on anything that you think would be good to continue on. So we do so much different things, and it's hard to see what people want to see next, so become a contributor as well as have an opinion on what we do next. Thank you.
Battle at Germantown. I would appreciate if you could please go over and click on the subscribe and hit the notification so you can know next time we have something new coming on. And sorry for the interruption, but back to the show. Washington was determined to surprise the British in Philadelphia. On a foggy morning in early October, 4 columns marched on the city by separate roads. In Germantown, the battle seemed won, but the British barricaded Judge Chu's mansion and there resisted Washington's main column stubbornly. The retreating troops rallied. General Greene's men, usually reliable, lost their way in the fog. And then, one of his subordinates, being intoxicated, caused the soldiers under him to fire into Wayne's troops. Washington's brilliant plan was a failure, and he retreated to Valley Forge. The sea lamprey. Damn weird. The sea lamprey, or the aquatic vampire. Sometimes called the vampires of the deep, sea lampreys have all the makings of a formidable predator. Lampreys, also inaccurately named lamprey eels, are any jawless fish placed in a superclass Cyclostomata. The adult lamprey may be characterized by a toothed, funnel-like sucking mouth. The common name lamprey is probably derived from Latin, which means stone liquor. Currently, there are about 38 known extant species of lamprey. Parasitic species are the best known, and feed by boring into the flesh of other fish to suck their blood. Only 18 species of lamprey are parasitic. Parasitic lamprey also attach themselves to larger animals to get a free ride. Adults of the non-parasitic species do not feed. They live off reserves acquired as larvae, which they obtain through filter feeding. Lampreys are a very ancient lineage of vertebrate, though their exact relationship to hagfish and jawed vertebrates is still a matter of dispute. Their mouths, complete with file-like tongues, are lined with more than 100 razor-sharp teeth. They stand on top of the food chain as apex predators, meaning they have few who predate upon them. And just one of these creatures can kill 40 or more pounds of fish in a lifetime. Their MO? Use their suction cup mouths to attach a fish for long periods of time, feeding on their blood, body fluids, and bodily tissues, and eventually killing their host. Sounds like a vampire to me. While people can swim without fear of these aquatic parasites, humans are affected indirectly by their populations. The Great Lakes has been fighting invasive sea lampreys since the mid-1900s, after the species entered the lakes and threatened the robust commercial fishing industry there. Niagara Falls was once enough to block entry into the lake, but once the Welland Canals opened in 1829, all bets were off. Sea lampreys first entered Lake Ontario in the mid-1800s, and then the upper Great Lakes in 1921. While they feasted on the abundant lake trout, salmon, whitefish, walleye, catfish, and other fish. By the 1950s, they had virtually wiped out the commercial and recreational fisheries of the Great Lakes. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service jumped into action, seems a little late, working with the Great Lakes Fishery Commission to execute a massive control effort that managed to reduce the lamprey population by 90% between the 1950s and 1960s. But maintaining that control still takes plenty of resources and technique. Today, lampricide barriers and traps are just a few of the ways the Great Lakes Fishery Commission is working to sustain a healthy ecosystem in the lakes. I would appreciate if you could please go over and click on the subscribe and hit the notification so you can know next time we have something new coming on. And sorry for the interruption, but back to the show. I would appreciate if you could please go over and click on the subscribe and hit the notification so you can know next time we have something new coming on. And sorry for the interruption, but back to the show.